Hello, beautiful people.
We're back with another episode of OpenTalk, part 2 of our Getting to Know You series. So, I'm going to be asking Ailsa the list of questions that I was asked last week. So, whenever you're ready, let's get started.
Let's get started. So my name's Ailsa, and I am 22 years of age.
Where did you grow up?
I was born in Indianapolis, and I grew up in West Palm Beach, Florida. Same place as Bad Baby Danielle Bergoli. I could have been famous too. But, so yeah, I grew up in Florida.
Okay, and what were you like as a child?
I was very outgoing, and I remember when I was maybe like 10, 11, my parents put me in like this acting like business thing, and they would give us scripts that we would have to memorize and then recite back. And even if I met a stranger, I would just start reciting them my lines, and like they would give me feedback about it. So I was definitely very outgoing as a child.
I could see like you evolved into like you're still outgoing.
Yeah,
you're
thanks.
Still chill. Very much a people person for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. What's something that's happened to you as a child that affected the way you are today?
Significantly affected me was my parents' divorce. That I really feel like that affected me much more than I ever gave it credit that it did.
Yeah.
It was just such a radical change to have my father not in the same household as my mother and brother and I. And I just always remember thinking and wishing that he was, and he was not. Even though, you know, he was not too far from us, it still was a change.
Yeah, it's hard.
Yeah, it is. Because, you know, the fighting between them was significantly less after he moved out, but sometimes I would just think I preferred the fighting, you know, because then everybody was together.
Yeah.
So.
If you could give your younger self advice, what would it be?
Trust yourself, and you're not a failure. Because I truly and fervently believe that I could be so much farther in my life if I just believed in myself and didn't take heed to outsiders' advice. And I think in believing in myself, if I would have actually completed that action, then I wouldn't feel as such a failure, because I would have accomplished more in my life.
But you're not a failure, you know? You have this great family, you're a great mom, you're a great person, great friend. You know, you're all of that, and you can accomplish whatever you put your mind to, you know? It's gonna be work, but you can do it, you know?
I know, it's the work part I don't like.
I know.
You know?
There's still time.
Yeah.
Definitely still time.
But it's like, I don't want to keep thinking that there's time, because I feel like when you do that, then that's when you fall into the trap of, oh, I always have time, and the next thing you know, you're in your 40s. Yeah. So I don't like that.
Well, this year, get it started. Whatever you want to do, get it started.
That's true.
Get it rolling, you know.
At least the first step, yeah.
What are your biggest fears in life?
To not leave anything behind to be remembered by. Because there's so many people who complete their lives here. Yeah. And I believe in reincarnation. And you know, in every single life, I feel as though there is some purpose as to why you were brought in and that you're here in this specific time frame. And there's something that you're supposed to accomplish, whether it's being an advocate for someone else's life or influencing them in a positive manner. But there's some reason why you're here in this specific moment. And I don't just want to pass on to my next life without leaving some sort of remnants that I was here during this time and I did something, and I did something worthwhile. So, yeah.
trust me, you're pretty unforgettable as a person. So
Thank you.
You already know. You'll be remembered.
Thank you.
If you don't have to do something, you don't have to like invent the next way into space to be remembered. You know, your family's gonna remember you, who you were, like a nice, genuine person, outgoing person. You know, can like cuss people out on the phone politely and get whatever you want.
Right? That's so true. These big words.
Right. But yeah, you'll be remembered.
Thanks.
It's one thing people always misunderstand about you.
I feel like people misunderstand my intentions.
Okay.
Like, sometimes I'll say things and it's misinterpreted as I'm coming from a place of pain, a place that I'm trying to hurt the other person that I'm speaking to, but I feel like I'm just trying to better understand and obtain a better grasp as to what the other person is thinking about. And sometimes my questions can be a little bit too forward to where it pushes the other person into an uncomfortable position, but I'm not trying to condescend the other person or like jeopardize their intelligence. I want to know what they're thinking, and I just want to know. I don't want to be left in the dark about it.
Yeah, definitely. That's understandable. I mean, I think that people these days, they get more like defensive
Yes.
about like what people will ask them, because you know people are so closed off these days, and they don't want to like talk about a lot of stuff, and like if you ask them something, they're like, no, let's not do
that's
that.
off bounds.
It's like these questions, like
yeah, high key.
But that's just how it is sometimes.
Yeah.
It'd be like that.
It'd be like that sometimes. But it's important to, unfortunately, to ask these type of questions.
Yeah.
Because even myself, as I'm answering them, I'm getting a better grasp of like who I am.
Exactly.
It's kind of weird. It's very weird.
Very weird. But it's important. That's why it's so good to talk it out,
Yeah.
You can keep it internalized, and you gotta like express it somehow, whether it's writing, whether it's like art, whether it's something,
Yeah.
Just
That's
gotta
so
let
true.
it out.
Yeah.
You're just one person. You can't just keep holding everything in. So.
Or I can try.
Or you can try, and then it'll explode, and you're like, oh, shit.
Right? Shouldn't have done that.
Probably not the best idea. Okay. What's the biggest struggle that you faced in your life so far?
Realizing that my biggest male role model has hurt me significantly. And I feel as though I'm slowly coming to a place or to a point in my life where I am able to talk about it, but I'm still scared to be there.
Yeah.
Because even coming to that realization, I still always doubt myself, and I become nervous and like scared like a little child. Like, what if I'm lying? What if I'm making it all up? But in realizing that and talking through it, like with you and with Mom, it's made me so much stronger. And I feel so much healthier now that it's out, and I finally feel like I'm not lying about my whole life. And even though that individual may state that I am coming to this conclusion as a means of removing the responsibility away from myself, I feel as though by accepting the truth, I have placed all responsibility on myself. Because now I have a whole new part of my life that needs to be resolved. And that's when I'm able to reflect back to when I said, if I could have just told my younger self to just trust yourself. And I feel like I could be so much further in my life, just mentally. But everything happens for a reason, because going through all that, I mean, I would have never met your brother. And he's so perfect, you know? And he gave me Aslia. And I've been wanting her all my life. And no one else could have given her to me like that.
I love you.
I love
You're
you
loved.
so much. I love you. Yeah, right? Just like, I'm trying to blink really fast and like, girl, don't fall. Yeah.
I'm really glad you shared that and we're able to get some of those emotions out. And
Me too.
you have-
Weirdly enough, me too.
you have so much support and so much love and so much family that backs you up and trusts you, and you know, we're here for you every step of the way as you go on your journey.
Thanks. Don't go anywhere.
We're here. We're always here.
You're stuck.
You're stuck with us.
Yeah. Thank God.
What's your philosophy or motto in life? Just to tie it all in together,
Yeah, right?
end it on a great note.
To be honest, I mean, I don't really know if I have one, because I'm still trying to figure out who I am, what I am. I mean, obviously I'm human, but what makes me, what drives me,
Yeah.
what's important to me, you know? But it just makes me think of like what I wrote, because you know when you're a senior you can write that little quote on the bottom of your picture.
Yeah.
And so I was going through a hard time during that time, and so I my little quote was choose life. And I feel like that's so vital, you know, just throughout everything, no matter what you're experiencing, no matter how detrimental your emotional state may seem at the time, you just gotta choose life, because it was blessed upon you, whether you may believe it or not. I mean, life is good, you know, so to always choose that.
I love that. That's really beautiful, and just it's really nice, you know, because a lot of people don't choose life.
Yeah.
So I think it's just an important message out there, a good motto to live by. No matter what, you always just have to choose life, you know.
Yeah.
Keep going, keep your head up.
Always.
Always.
But yeah. So thank you so much for joining us on another episode of Open Talk.
I hope to see you next time. Again, any questions you have for us, leave them down below or answer your own questions. And yeah.
Yep. We'll see you next time. Bye.